Welcome all to Stats Easy, where we make statistics simple and easy for all of us. So today I want us to learn about some basic R commands. And one thing that you remember that in the previous video we learned about installing R and R Studio, and of course some of its functionality. And before that, before even going to the basic commands, I want us just to have a small recap on in terms of some basic commands. So can we do some few things on terms of basic commands, whereby, so let's go to your R Studio and you go to the console. You remember the windows here. We have the script editor. At the bottom here we have the console. Here we have the environment, and of course here we have the outputs, whereby we can see all these plots, the packages. So one thing, so let us do some simple math, that is addition, some multiplication, and so let's say, for example, I want to do 2 multiple plus 3. Of course, you get it as 5. But let's try an example. Let's say 3 multiplied by 4, or even let me just do the 2 plus 3, then I multiply by 5. So what do you get? You get 25. So one thing about R is the aspect of even following the rules, the mathematical rules, like the BODMAS, where we're supposed to first of all start with the brackets, and then off, and then division, and then all the way to the multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So one, you'll see that here it first of all did the addition in within the brackets, and then it went and multiplied. So the good thing with R, you can use it, and it will ensure that it follows all the mathematical rules. So let us start creating our objects that I wanted us to create. So these objects, let's say for example, I want there is G there, and then you can want to put, and then you use the assigning sign there. So let me put it as 6, and then T, let me put it as 7, and then let me put like D, which is G multiplied by 7. So of course you remember the way I told you how to run. So you just click here, run, and then you run there. So it tells me that there is nothing object like D. So why is it there is nothing like object like D? So the thing here is uh, because I had not put the sign here, which is I had not put this. So, and one thing I wanted to make sure, I wanted to make D to be assigned G, and it should be multiplied by T, because I've already saved T here. Remember that here we can be able to save these. We can be able to save these so that it can be used in future, or can be referred to in future. So let me still run them. So one thing that I want us to learn here is about this sign. If you know this sign, it's not necessarily you use the less than and then the hyphen sign for you to be able to assign. You can still use an equal sign. So this is an equal sign here. So let me use an equal sign here. So if let's say it was G, I say G, let G to be 8, D to be, I'm just reassigning D, T, we had T to be equal to be 9, and then D is equals to D is equals to G multiplied by T. So if I want to run, I can just click run here, run there, run there. So you see, I've still reassigned my my objects using the equal sign, and I don't need to click here run. Of course, uh, you see the good thing with R. Even by clicking here, it tells you the shortcut. The shortcut is just control and enter. So you can hit control here and then you just enter. It will just run automatically. Look at the R console here. You see, by just clicking control and enter without going to the R button here, I just click my control button in my keypad and then I just hit enter, enter, enter. So my commands are run here and console shows me the results if my commands are well run or not well run. So and you see, of course, all our objects are being stored there. So sometimes you might want to understand what is currently saved in my environment. So let me clear this. So for you to clear the R console, you just click control. You just click control and then L. I've cleared my R console so that now I can start working. But remember, whatever has been saved has already been saved here at the R environment. So at the R console, there is one very important command that helps us to understand what has currently been saved in this work environment. So this is the ls, the list command. So if I put the list command there, I'll be able to know that currently I have an object known as D, I have an object known as G, and I have an object known as T. So this tells us that okay, currently you have an object D. So even if I come here, I'll see okay, I have object D, object T, object G, all that. So that's why it tells us, and it helps us. And then interestingly, I might want to maybe remove object D. So how do I remove object D and it has already been saved? Rather than coming here and clear all the object, you see this brush, there is a brush here there. So that brush can be used to clear everything in the workspace. But now if I want to maybe remove object D, and maybe because he had already said object D is supposed to be D divided by, so I can come and use RM, which is remove, and then I say I want to remove object D. D there, and just enter. So look at the environment, there is no object D. So this is now where you can be able, and of course you can be able to remove even two or more. So another important thing that is about the data types. So in R we have three we have three main data types that we can be able to store. Of course we have the number, the numericals. And of course, we have text, we have logical functions, we have the factors. All these data sets can be stored into R so that they can be used in analysis. And remember, it's very important to understand the data type that you have put. So, for example, G. If I want to know G, I have G here. So I will use the command class into bracket G. I can put G there. So, oh, I don't have G. I had already cleared them. So let me redo it. So and then class G. So it tells me class the object G is a numeric data type of data type. So it already tells me here the console, and the console is so good. It tells you that there is an error in your command. Your error, the command is okay. It brings you the output and tells you what is really happening. The other aspect is about the text. We understand the text. The text are like when you do statistics, is like the nominal measures of scale, whereby like for example the name. Let's say for example I can put I can say that, let's say for example, let me assign M. M might be, let's say, the name of our channel. The name of our channel is Start Easy. And remember, when you're putting a text, you have to start with the quotation, the opening quotation, and the, so that you can tell R that this understand this or save this as a text. So this is a text. So you can see it has already saved this as a text. And let's say, for example, if once it saves this as a text, and then if I want to confirm class M, and that, so it tells me this is a character, or a text. This is a character, so it tells me that this is a character, and you can be able to change all these characters into a factor. So a factor is where, maybe let's say for example, I was listing, or maybe it mainly it happens in cases whereby, let's say we have the ordinal measures of scale, whereby we have like, I was collecting some data, and it was being measured, maybe good, poor, excellent, and then good, poor, excellent. So it was data from maybe multiple respondents, so whereby you can now transform that characters, those characters, good, poor, excellent, into factors. Maybe there were three factors which were being measured there. So that is that is a very important thing. So another thing that I really want us to, in terms of the basic, is just the inbuilt functions in R. So R has so many inbuilt function in R which can make our work easier. For example, things to do with the square root. I want to perform the square root of a set of a number. Let's say for example, we know the square root of 81 is 9. So one of the is the square root, that is the square root you can see there, 81. So these are the inbuilt functions in R. Of course, we have something to do with like the mean. We have summary, which tells you, let's say it's a group of values, and then it tells you what it tells. And then the good thing, what I like about R is about how it predicts the function that you want to use. Let's say, for example, it's the mean. So let's have, you see here, it already tells me what mean do you want to use here. So I want to use the, of course, this is the mean. The mean is the arithmetic mean, and it already defines for you here. And once it defines for you here, and let's say for example, I want to put the mean, you put the mean of a group of values, of course. Now, one important thing that I want us to understand is that we have one function that assigned. All along we've been using one digit. Let's say G, it is one digit, 9, it is one digit. But let's say for example, I have a set of digits, let's say 6, 7, 9, 10, 14, 12, uh, 7 again, and then again you can even put 5. So I want to assign all these values into one object. So what do I do? One of the major one of the important you remember, this is a script editor, so it helps you to like to edit your script so that now it can be able to work efficiently. So one of the things that is the C command, whereby the C into bracket command. So let's say for example, let me call this to be K, object K. So object K is equals to C, you put C into bracket, and then now you can even copy all these, of course, and then you remember to put so you can see, I can be able to assign all these, and then now I put K. So you can see K, here is K, it tells me it's a numerical, it has eight numbers, so of which we have already signed them here. So you can see that is like one variable. We have already developed a variable or something known as vectors in R. So this is like a vector, although don't worry, in the next video we'll be learning about vectors and data frames in R. So you can see this is like a vector or a variable that we've already developed in R, so known as K. So one thing that we can be able to use is like, let me put the mean. I want to do the mean here. So if it is the mean of K, so you see the mean of K is 8.625. So R is so good and can help you to be able to, let's say even if let's say for example I want to do the sum. So you see the sum here, what's the sum of K is 69. So the total of all these is 69. So those are some of the basic inbuilt functions that can help you to be able, even the standard deviation, I can want to compute the standard deviation. SD, it is SD. So SD of K is what? And of course, sometimes you can be able to inquire from R and tell R, can you tell me more about this? So I can always use the question sign in front of your command. So it is let's say the square root and here it will help, it will tell you, of course, this is, it computes absolute value of x, that is a square root, and then it tells you about all, everything about all that function and what that function does, and of course the build of the function and all these things. So that is how R, and how you can be able to engage it, and also to work with it. So generally, if just to recap what we've been able to learn today, we've been able to see that we can use R as a calculator where we did our math initially, the like this. And of course, another thing we've seen is about you creating and of course manipulating objects. We've created objects as single values, that is 8, 9. We've manipulated them, just even multiplication here. We could have even done the addition. We could have done the division, and then the other aspect is like things to do. Of course, we have understood some data types, the text, and now this text, as going forward, we can see how we can change these characters or this text into now factors. So in the next video, as I have mentioned, we're going to learn about vectors and data frames. And thank you so much for being with us. And let's meet in the next video. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly hit the subscribe button, and let's learn art together. Thank you.